Okay, today we're out here again at the #1 home builder in Idaho, but today we're touring single-story homes with 4 bedrooms, which we know are really popular for you. And this one right here is our absolute favorite. We're also out here in a community that has higher upgrades than CBH usually does. And so you guys get to see what an upscale, affordable house looks like for 4 bedrooms. So we're gonna tour this one at the end, which is by far our favorite.
The biggest, well, we'll just have to wait to show you.
Yeah, it is really nice. You'll figure out what we're talking about. We're gonna tour a 2,000 square foot one. That's their most popular floor plan. They have like 180 of them across the valley right now, so build a lot of them. And then we're gonna tour this one right here, which I really love, especially the backyard, and give you guys more information, more floor plans, because anytime we do a CBH video, the whole goal is to inform you guys on the floor plans while talking about the builder. Because with CBH, they build thousands of homes a year, and they have 60 to 70 floor plans somewhere in there. So you really want to learn them, because odds are if you buy a house in Boise, you're probably gonna be looking at a CBH or at least considering it. So let's jump into the single story houses and give you guys an idea of some new floor plans with CBH. Okay, we're at home #1. This floor plan is the Harrison 2025, and this is probably one of their most popular single story floor plans. It has 4 bedrooms, which is the theme of this video, and you guys will see as we go through these houses. But there's a ton of them in every community. There's 3 Harrisons in this community. Every community you go in, you're usually gonna have at least 2 or 3, and that's just because it's such a popular floor plan, so they build a ton of them. And at 2,000 square feet, 4 bedrooms, and then you guys will see in the living area, I think why it's a pretty popular floor plan, especially for the price. 3-car garage, 4 bedroom, and most of them are gonna be in the 460 to 480 range, pretty much no matter where you're at in the valley. And there's really just not that many options with a 3-car garage and 4 bedrooms for under that 475 mark. It's really hard to find, even if you go into Hayden Homes or Hubble Homes or especially Toll Brothers. So we'll go through the house, and I actually have 2 clients in this community. One of them is wanting to buy this Harrison, so I'll get to talk through some of the things that we noticed this weekend, some of the things to watch out for. But again, these are always to give you guys the floor plan of CBH because they have so many, that way you guys are educated. But 2 bedrooms up front, pretty standard.
I think one thing you mentioned before we started recording that was cool. How many Harrisons did you see listed across the valley?
Yeah, there's like 180, 150, something like that.
Yeah, 150 to 180 Harrisons. So obviously if they build one of their, build it the most out of any floor plan, it's probably going to be because it's one of their highest sellers. But it just goes to show how many homes CBH builds, and again, how much variety. If you don't like this particular one with the more modern elevation, there's going to be completely different looks, the exact same floor plan in Kuna or all the other towns.
Yep, exactly, and different finishes. Shout out to Andrea, one of the clients wanting a Harrison. We looked at like 15 or 16 different Harrisons this weekend, and that's part of what happens with CBH is you have to look for the finishes that you want, so the different flooring, the different countertops, things like that. And that's another reason we're out here in Silver Trail, out here in Kuna, is because this community has higher end finishes. So CBH has different styles of communities too, and this is one of the ones where you get the nicer finished baseboards, you get the quartz countertops that you guys will see, and you don't get it in the spare bathroom, but you do get it in the master bathroom. So things like that are just important to know about.
And other things, like you said, there's 100 plus of these, maybe let's say 10 plus in Kuna.
Yep.
But also lot placement, backyard size, but lot placement too can play a big factor, where you might have to go see the same exact Harrison 3 times before you find like, oh, this is perfect. I love this backyard, the way it faces, what it backs to, and things like that.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, like this one, you don't really have any backyard neighbors that you guys will see, but there's 2 other Harrisons in this community, and you have houses directly behind you. And so for the same floor plan, for relatively the same price, you can have a better lot placement in even just this community as a whole. So we just walked past bedroom number 3. So you have the 2 up front, then you have the 1 right here, and then you also have your master, which is across the way, to give you guys kind of an idea of where your bedrooms are at. And one thing that me and Andrew were talking about is it wouldn't be too hard to blow out this wall right here and put 2 doors to make this hallway feel a little bit more open. It can feel a little bit crammed in the Harrison with this big long hallway, so that wouldn't be that expensive of a thing afterwards. Master's gonna be right here, which we'll take a look at in a second. But this is probably one of the reasons that the Harrison is so popular, is you have a really big living space for a 2,000 square foot home, and you get these big vaulted ceilings to really just make it feel open, really good for entertaining, and it's all in one big open area. Plenty of natural light coming into, you get the big 3 windows. And then another selling point for a lot of you guys is always having this sink looking out your back. It gives, you know, getting to watch, good for entertaining, and just a popular thing to have that natural light while you do dishes and whatnot.
Yeah, and plenty of cabinetry. And what I really like, and we've mentioned before, you know, CBH builds a solid, you know, quality home, but it also leaves a lot of opportunity to improve or kind of customize how you want. So this wall, this big wall here, you can do and add so much different things here. You could add a whole nother countertop with a wine cooler and more cabinetry. You could put, you know, in a china cabinet for those that still have those. But you know what I'm saying. You can use this and customize it to how you want. But they leave it, you know, they leave it bare. They have the outlets there for you. So it's not over the top where the builder is going to design something there and then charge you for it. But the space is there for you to turn it into something that works for you. Exactly, yeah. And part of that affordability with CBH is it gives you the opportunity to do things like that and kind of make it your own, because pretty blank slate with a lot of these CBH homes. There's lots of room for doing what you want. I mean, even this right here, right? This is technically your dining area, but if you're somebody who doesn't eat at the dinner table, you don't really need a big dining table, you can make this part of your living area. I mean, if you're a single guy, you could put a pool table here if you really wanted to, right? Or you could put in a nice light fixture, make it your own, make it a nice dining area. So just gives you a little bit more options with what you want to do with the house. And then this community, like I said, you have the quartz countertops in here. It is the, what is the 3 centimeter, I think. So a little bit thinner, but a lot of these houses do have the thick quartz. You have the upgraded backsplash all the way to the top. And then the pantry in the Harrison is half walk-in, so just a good sized corner cabinet space. Yeah, and we love, obviously, we say it every single video, you know, we like to get to know the people we're talking with, and especially the clients that we're fortunate enough to work with, but also love data and analytics and getting an idea of what all of you are actually looking for. So for those of you watching that are looking for a 4-bedroom home, we'd love to hear if it's because you have a full family, 3 kids, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kids, or you want 2 guest bedrooms and an office. Just some interesting data that we like to know. Obviously, if we're working with you, we ask those things in person, but yeah, comment down below for any of you looking for 4-bedroom homes, if you're truly using all 4 bedrooms, or if you want the 4th one as an extra office or, you know, future living space. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, let us know, because I mean, even these CBH videos, these are more for education for you guys. CBH is oftentimes what a lot of people will at least end up looking at. So we want to show you guys these floor plans so you have an idea of A, what CBH looks like, but if CBH is on your list, you can watch these videos and decide which floor plan is your favorite. And part of that is with Boise Real Estate Insights here on the channel. We're here to provide you guys with actual information. We're not here to just entertain you. Hopefully we can be a little bit entertaining and we're not completely boring, but we actually want to provide you guys with value, show you what's going on in the Boise real estate market, build a relationship, not be a transactional real estate agent. And for those of you who are local, be updated, have information that you're learning so you can be an educated buyer. And when you do buy or sell your house, you actually know what's going on, you know what you're doing, and you're making the best decision for yourself. And so I can get my face, messy hair day. Like to mention too, you know, we love a variety of different people and clients. And I'm not talking about demographics, even just personality. So a lot of times, some people are gonna be like, hey, let's go grab a coffee. Let's not even see a home when we first meet. Let's go grab coffee or a drink and let's just chat for a few hours and get to know each other. perfectly acceptable. We love to do that. Some people are like, hey, I'm here for a day and a half. I want to see these 10 homes. Let's get after it. And we can do that too. So really like to adapt to how our clients and how the people we're working with like to go about their real estate transaction, but also how much or how little someone might want to just sit down, chat, and kind of get to know each other. But yeah, we're flexible, and however you guys want to interact, we're here to help and hopefully get to know you and stay in touch for the long term.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, hopefully build some lifelong friends, and reach out to us if you guys have any questions. But we'll stop boring you with us and show you guys the house. So this Harrison, I'll give you guys kind of an idea.
Right.
The fence isn't up right now, but the fence would come to here. And this Harrison in particular does have actually a pretty big backyard. But one thing about this floor plan, the Harrison, is in a lot of communities, it's only right here. So they use it on a lot of their corner lots, which gives you a really small like backyard space. And then most of the time, your backyard space is gonna be over here where you get the bulk of it, because the house wraps around and gives you a pretty wide usable backyard on the side of the house. So I'd say that is one of the cons of the Harrison is most of their floor plans don't give you really good usable space right off of your living area. So for those of you who do like to entertain and you want the backyard space to be right off of your window or your sliding glass door, that would be a con of the Harrison, but it gives you guys an idea of what the backyard is gonna look like. And honestly, almost every single one of their lots, I'd say this is one of the most consistent backyards styles that you're gonna see in a floor plan versus a lot of their 2 stories or even some of their other single stories. You get a wide range of what your backyard looks like. Where with the Harrison, this is pretty much what it always looks like. So going back down the hallway into the master. So master's right here, laundry room is right here, and you would think this is the garage, but I'd say about 5 times this weekend, we walked right into the HVAC system.
No garage,
so,
yeah.
So garage is in the front. We'll go take a look at that too after the master, but good sized laundry room. And then your master bedroom is in here. Walk-in closet is right there. Really good sized master, especially for a 2,000 square foot house. And CBH is known for that. This isn't gonna be their biggest master, but still plenty of space. And then right into the bathroom, where in Silver Trail, you guys can see you get the quartz countertops in the master, which is not usually the case, or a lot of times is not in a lot of their communities. You also get the upgraded framed walk-in shower with the black versus the silver. You have some built-in shelves right here, which is a nice touch in the Harrison. So,
yeah, and this is another floor plan where the closet is separate from the bathroom. It's not one long connection. So for those of you who prefer that, this floor plan hits it.
Yeah, I'd say most CBH homes, the closet's in the bathroom and usually just extends towards the back. This is one of their few. And CBH has, I think they're 50 to 70 different floor plans, right? I mean, somewhere in there. They have a ton of floor plans, which is why we're continuing to try and give you guys this information and show you guys all of the floor plans because there is a lot to learn and know about CBH. Show you guys a 3-car garage for the Harrison. A lot of their garages will be different sizes, but for a Harrison, this is your standard 3-car. It's not gonna be an extended bay like some of their other 2-story homes or even some of their single-story homes go. So, wanted to show you guys what the garage looks like.
Yeah, yep, and this is standard, drywalled, taped and mudded, but not finished, which to be honest, in my opinion, I don't see a point in painting the whole garage, but some people like that, but CBH again will save on costs there to help pass that along to you. That's as finished as the garages get. Yep,
and again, this is a Harrison 2025. This home is listed at $490,000. So pretty standard. The Harrison, pretty much all over Kuna, has ranged from $460,000 to $490,000 with a 3-car garage. If you get a 2-car garage, it drops it a little bit. And then obviously Meridian's gonna be about $10,000, $20,000 more. Caldwell and Nampa will be about $10,000, $20,000 less. So just keep that in mind. And keep an eye out for a giveaway in this video, like we always like to do, send you guys a Starbucks gift card. But we're gonna go over to 2 other homes with CBH that are 4-bedroom homes. One of them being one of my newer favorite CBH single-story floor plans called the Pasadena, but let's head over to home number 2. Okay, we're at home number 2 here, and this one's called the Kobe. This is the same square footage, but just a completely different layout. And then after this one, we're gonna walk across the street and show you this Pasadena, which is 2,300 square feet. And they obviously both have 3-car garages too, but this floor plan is absolutely outstanding. Has a really cool structure, especially in the living area. And the kitchen is one of the biggest kitchens that CBH builds. So really excited to show you guys that, because CBH, most of the time, even in their really big floor plans, they just have smaller kitchens in general, and they utilize the space in other places.
Yeah, and Brady mentioned this community is a little bit different than some of the other ones. I mean, you can tell almost every home here is a 3-car garage. These are slightly bigger lots, and they're upgraded on the inside, but just wanted to speak to, again, different elevations. So this one, you know, compared to the last one, which is more modern, so you get a variety and can hopefully find the style that works for you, you know, even in the same community, but if not, maybe just a few minutes down the road.
Yep, and even their finishes. So this is actually like real corrugated wood. And they have communities that are some of their cheapest, most affordable ones that have a plastic siding that goes all around the house. So even this community, you get the higher end finishes on the outside as well, not just the inside. And then walking into the entryway in the Kobe, so this is a Kobe 2021, so it's almost the exact same square footage as the Harrison. So you can almost compare it side by side between the two. They're the exact same size, so it gives you guys a good idea. Right off the bat, you guys can see just how much wider the hallway is and how much more open it is, especially getting those windows. You don't have a really big, long hallway. And then you have your mudroom there. You do still have the 2 bedrooms right up front, which we see a lot. Your bathroom right here is gonna be the same as pretty much every CBH up front. And then we'll show you guys the size of the bedrooms, almost identical to the Harrison and most of their 2,000 square foot homes. Give you guys an idea comparing it to the Harrison, but front of the house, very, very similar, almost identical to the Harrison minus the wider entryway. And then your garage is still off the front here, with the laundry room right here as well. And this laundry room is actually oversized, so a lot bigger than the Harrison. You even get extra space right here. You get the space to hang clothes, so bigger laundry room.
Yeah, a little bit of a mud bench here. The Harrison didn't have that.
Yep, yeah, really nice look. Get the 2 light fixtures in here. And then this is where it differs a lot from the Harrison, is you have a designated dining area over here. You don't have the vaulted ceilings. And then you have, I'd say it's a little bit smaller of a living area than the Harrison. And some people love this and some people don't, but same countertop space. I like the backsplash in this one. And then the pantry in the Kobe is actually a lot bigger. So it's a true walk-in pantry. So some of the big differences are the walk-in pantry, the bigger laundry room, and then you just sacrifice some of that space with the actual living area. So good for those of you who don't really need that huge living area with the big vaulted ceilings in the Harrison. And then one of my favorite parts about the Kobe is it has a little bit more of a traditional look, obviously with the door out to the back, but you actually get a covered patio with the Kobe. Which for CBH, there's only, I think, 2, maybe 3 floor plans that you actually get a covered patio. And so to be able to have that is really nice in this floor plan.
Yeah, good size yard.
Yep. And I actually love this backyard because it wraps around like this. So you get this bigger section right here. Makes it a lot more usable for where your patio's out. So it's not wrapped around the side of the house like the Harrison or some of their other floor plans.
Yeah, kind of an interesting shape, but it works well for this because again, it gives you another 5-6 feet deep right there in that back corner.
Yeah, and while we're here, this is what I mean by, so the Kobe, you're gonna have a different backyard depending on where you're at. It's not gonna be unison versus the Harrison. That'll almost be the exact same style every time. And then while we're sitting here, you guys might notice these houses in the back and notice how absolutely huge their backyards are. So in future videos, we'll get to do it, but it goes all the way back to this corner. And these are their biggest 2-story floor plans, one of them being the Milano. Some of their lots with CBH can actually get up to half an acre. So there's a few Milanos that have a half-acre lot, and to get it for an affordable price, you know, 3,000 square foot home for 700,000 on a half an acre, just something good to know about. And we'll tour those floor plans in the future.
Yeah, and honestly, what I think is more important for you guys to take a mental note of, those homes don't always get listed. So they are obviously the first to get sold when someone comes through looking for a big home on a big lot. Hey, what do you have coming up? Oh, right next door is our half acre. Boom, gone. So a lot of times you will have to be out here looking or talking to someone or working with someone like Brady and I to actually know when those are available, when they're coming up. Because again, they go the fastest.
100%, yeah. They don't usually hit the market. So that's where, if you shoot us a text, shoot us a call, or for those of you who are moving here, be ahead of the game. We can be your eyes on the ground. And then for those of you who are local, we're out here in these communities a lot. So if we know you're looking for a Milano with a 1/4 acre or half acre or a 1/3 acre, we can reach out to CBH and have us on notifications for stuff like that. So. Off the living area, you have the master over here, and then this is where it differs too, is you have a spare bedroom and a pretty good sized spare bedroom off on the back side of the house next to the master. A little bit different layout where it's much longer.
Yeah, this is big. And this is where, you know, if you were standing here with us walking through, we'd be asking you, 4 bedrooms, how would you use this home? Do you want a true separate dining area? Is this 4th bedroom not really a bedroom for you? Is this a kid's play area? I mean, a really big office, or an office and a bedroom actually for this size of room?
100%.
So I actually really like this floor plan. Harrison's great, but I like the utility of how big this 2nd or 4th room is.
Yep, and it just makes the Kobe feel bigger. The Harrison's awesome, and you get that really big living area. But yeah, like, do you guys actually need that huge living area? How much time do you spend in there? Or do you want a bigger bedroom? You know, maybe you have 2 kids that you want to fit in 1 bedroom. That way you can have an office for one of the other ones. And this is a type of room that you could fit 2 twin-size beds in here and have tons of room in here on top of that. Versus the Harrison, you can't really do that. So if you had 4 kiddos, or 3 kiddos, they'd all have to take up all of the rooms, where in here you could kind of shove them in 1 room. And then across from this one is your master. And this master's almost the exact same size as the one in the Harrison. But my favorite part about the Kobe is actually their master bathroom. It's a lot bigger, or at least roomier, and it feels higher end. So again, we're in Silver Trail, so you do get the quartz countertops in here, which is nice. But this is, I'd say, the layout of a bathroom that we see in the higher end builders. Where you have the vanities over here, you have the shower right here, toilet room, and then your walk-in closet is right there. So one of my favorite parts about the Kobe, and yeah, love what they did in here. You have definitely a good amount of space here with the walkway right there. But that's the Kobe. So one of their other 4 bedroom single story homes, and one of the few that you don't get a vaulted ceiling. I'd say 90% of their single story floor plans, you get a vaulted ceiling. But with this one, you do get the 9-foot ceilings, which is nice. So instead of the 8, and then just this big wide hallway, it just makes it feel a lot bigger. So now we can walk across the street, and we'll show you the Pasadena. And that lot's really cool. It is sold, but we still want to show you the floor plan because for the Pasadena, there's not very many. There's only 2 for sale in Kuna, and they're both in this community. And then there's only 2 more that aren't on the market yet that are being built in the process. So a floor plan that, even though our clients bought this one across the street, we want you to see, because it is so popular, and it's another one of those situations where if you love that floor plan with CBH, we have to be on top of it and see what's coming up so that we can get into that house. But let's go take a look at the Pasadena. Okay, now we're at the last home. The Pasadena is the name of this floor plan, the Pasadena 2351. This home is, like I said, one of my favorite single story homes that CBH has. And part of that is it just feels nicer. And as we go through the house, I'll point out some of the things that are there. This one, obviously, it has a really nice lot. You'll see there's no neighbors right here. There's no neighbors in the back. But again, these CBH videos, the main goal is to get you guys what the floor plans look like. And then, of course, give you guys an idea of the the communities. So like as an example, we've said we're in Silver Trail and there's higher end finishes in this community, but there's a ton of homes that we're not gonna tour today. So lots of 2-story homes in here, a few more single stories. They even have some that are lower priced. So there's a house in here that's $460,000, that's 1,700 square feet. So if 2,000 square feet is not what you need, there are options in Silver Trail. On the Pasadena, this is kind of the first part where you have this really cool walkway entrance. You have this 2 stairs walking up. Feels really big and open when you get to the front door.
Yeah,
just
overall,
makes it feels nicer.
Yeah, exactly. Overall, it feels and looks like almost completely different than most CBH homes, and particularly when we get to the kitchen, we'll show you some of the things there. But yeah, this is a really good floor plan if you're looking for something slightly bigger than the last 2.
Yep, yeah, 2,300 square feet. Pasadena, we're not gonna take too much time because it's the exact same as most houses, but at least show you guys size of rooms. So even though it's 2,300 square feet, you don't get it in the bedrooms that are in the front of the house, but wanted to show you guys that. And then it's the exact same as the last 2 houses we looked at, with bathroom there, closet, and then another bedroom. But the entrance here, you guys can see how wide the hallways are. I like this little separator for the entryway versus the hallway. And it obviously opens up into the living area. But then you do get another bedroom across the way, which functions really well as an office, or your 3rd bedroom in here. Taller ceilings in here, which really opens it up. So you don't get the vaulted ceilings. You get the extra window up top here, which is where this is either your favorite kid's bedroom or it's your office space. And then you get a walk-in closet in this bedroom, which is really nice. So
yeah, this one's definitely deeper than the 2 guest bedrooms on the other side of the home.
Yep.
So again, another bonus area, kids play area, office bedroom, a little bit more options.
Yep, so big difference there right off the bat. And then walking into this living area, we can't really hide it, so we'll just show you. But this is where one of the biggest, I guess, islands that CBH has.
I'd say the big. I can't imagine they have a bigger, a longer island.
Not that I've seen yet. Even in their big 2 stories, you don't get an island like this. You don't get a ton of, I guess, kitchen space on this side. Like there's not a wraparound, but your island has a ton of cabinetry here. And then the other part about the Pasadena is I think this might be the biggest walk-in, I almost said closet, walk-in pantry.
Food closet.
Yeah, food closet. It's absolutely huge. So for a CBH home, to get this big of a walk-in pantry is pretty rare. Even in their 3,000 square foot houses, you only get a corner pantry in a lot of them. So a walk-in pantry for a CBH house is actually pretty rare, and something for you guys to know about. That if that's a deal breaker, there's only, I think, 3 or 4 floor plans that actually have that as an option.
Yeah, and it definitely more than makes up for potential loss of cabinet space in the kitchen, because you can easily put all your extra overflow kitchen items in the pantry.
100%. And then here in the living space, this is where a lot of the extra square footage goes, is you get a really big living area while still having the designated dining area over here. So tons of place here for a sectional couch, TV, lots of room to entertain while still having space on the side. And then we'll show you what the patio looks like, because it is a little different than other CBHs, but you do get the 2-panel patio. And then obviously this is lot dependent, but do love this lot. Not every Pasadena is obviously gonna be on a lot like this, but at least get you guys an idea of what this home in particular looks like with the patio that it has, and the slider here off to the side into the dining room. And then we will head over to the garage and show you guys what the garage space looks like in the Pasadena. The entrance is also different than any of the other houses we've looked at, especially these 4 bedrooms. But laundry room here, again, much bigger laundry room. So I'd say this is a 4-bedroom house that's really good for families or just people wanting this extra space in all of these little spots. Mud room, and then your garage entrance is off of the kitchen, which is not the case for a lot of CBH houses. And then your 3-car is the same size as the Harrison and the Kobe that we just took a look at. So want to show you guys what that looks like. And sometimes floor plans are gonna vary in the garage. So sometimes you will get a bigger third bay or even the two-car garage section, depending on what community you're in. Even houses that are next door to each other, they'll have a different size garage. It just depends what the setbacks are and how they build it. And then here is where you get into your master. And I like this floor plan because it has its own walkway, which you don't usually get with CBH, one this big at least. So you feel like you're really off on your own. And then this master bedroom is really good sized, your typical CBH. And for those of you who have watched the other videos, you'll know this, but CBH is definitely known for having pretty big master bedrooms in a lot of their floor plans.
Yeah, definitely slightly bigger than the average for every square footage floor plan. They add a little bit more into the room than the other areas.
Yeah, and then for those of you who haven't seen the other videos, so things like this in a CBH where you have this nicer baseboard, the 4-inch, and nicer finishes around the doorways, that's not going to be the case in every community. So this is a community that does have it in, I think, every single one of their houses. The quartz countertops is not usually the case with CBH. This is a rare community that has it in every single house, especially in the bathrooms. Every CBH is gonna have LVP flooring for the most part, with carpets in the bedrooms. That's something they changed recently. They used to put carpet in the living areas, and now they've just switched over to LVP in all of those. A lot of times they are giving us fans now in their CBH homes. The outside of the house I talked about at the beginning, that's a little different. And then with CBH, you cannot build with them. So whatever they have on the market, you get what you see. So you're gonna have to figure out what finishes you want, what color choices you want. This house being obviously lighter, where like in the master bathroom, it continues that same white quartz with the white cabinetry, same as the bathroom. But keep that in mind with CBH. But this Pasadena, another big factor is you get the bath and you get the shower. So for those of you who need 4 bedrooms and a bath is a deal breaker, the Pasadena is one of the few, it might be the only single story that has a bath in the master. And then your toilet room actually has a door that closes. Yeah, get your privacy where the other ones didn't. And then this closet is absolutely huge for a 2,300 square foot house. So really good closet space.
Obviously the price point goes up as the size of the home goes up, but that extra 300 square feet compared to the last 2 we've seen, I mean, it does make a pretty big difference.
Yep, and we did it again. We forgot to give you the price on the last one. So the Kobe that we took a look at across the street, that one was $535,000. So comparing that one to the Harrison, which was the first house, $40,000 more. And so when you're thinking of those 2 floor plans, keep that in mind. A lot of times the Kobe is more expensive. Part of that is the covered patio that you get in the backyard. But other than that, there's really not a huge difference in finishes. And so you just are paying more for that type of floor plan. And then with this one, the Pasadena is listed at $575,000. There's another one in this community listed at $580,000. So very similar price point. This one does have a bigger lot, but that gives you guys an idea of what the Pasadena will be. And for this video, we'll do the giveaway. If you guys can comment whether you're watching locally in Boise, so comment either local or out of state. And then after that, put your favorite floor plan. So whether it's the Pasadena, the Harrison, which was the first one, or the Kobe, which was the second one we looked at, comment that down below, and we'll send the first 4 people.
4?
Yeah, we'll do 4.
Oh, he's getting generous.
First 4 people, we'll send you guys a Starbucks gift card so you guys can go get coffee. And if you guys want to watch more CBH floor plans, watch this video here. That way you guys can continue to learn all of the different floor plans that CBH has, because they're the #1 builder. Oftentimes everybody's going to at least take a look. So check out that video. We appreciate you guys watching and hope to meet you in person.